And welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premiere podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. I almost forgot what this show was. I said this is a premiere, and then I paused, and I didn't understand. Let me just turn myself up here in the monitors. Hold on. I said I was going to turn myself up in the monitors, and now I'm just sitting here trying to find this stupid Google Docs page with all the topics. Okay, now I'm turning myself up in the monitors. Here we go. Nope. I just turned myself down. Here we are, back at it again, episode 155 of this show that's been going on for 2 years now. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't been doing the time. If you got the time to lean, you got the time to listen to this show. Everybody's at home, still doing the Progromavirus. Progromavirus. No, it's they're still at home watching all their programs, doing the things that come with the coronavirus. I recently just returned from work. Currently, I am sitting. I've had trouble finding toilet paper throughout the past couple of weeks since this shutdown started, since the worldwide shutdown started. And a couple weeks ago, I went to Target. No, I went to Whole Foods. Maybe a month ago, I went to Whole Foods, and they were the only place that had toilet paper. So I said, why not? I was get some toilet paper at Whole Foods. It's this terrible thin, what feels like commercial one ply, and I got it. I said, great, 6 rolls, that'll last me months. Then I went to Target like 3 weeks ago. And it was not my usual Target. I went to that Target and I saw they were just putting out, it was in the morning, right before work, because I love being late. And they were putting out toilet paper, 6 packs of Charmin and Angel Soft. And I went up there and I was like, can I have one of those? And they said yes. You know, I'm just realizing is I'd never centered the DSLR. Doesn't matter. No one watches the show anyway. So I went up there and I got it, and he gave me Angel Soft, and I was too much in a panic to ask for Charmin. So then I went to my mom's house. I gave that one to her because she was having trouble finding toilet paper too. And then I found another pack of Charmin. Bought that like the following week, and then this is like 3 weeks later. I went to Target Tuesday before work, and now I'm a proud owner of a nearly $30 24 mega rolls. Yeah, so it equals 96 regular rolls of Charmin Ultra Strong. So I'm gonna give about half of that to my mom and my stepdad, and then I'll keep the other 12 for myself, which is good because now I have 18 total, or 15 total. No, 6 plus 12, 18. So it's great. That can last me a whole year. I don't need any more toilet paper. Anyway, that's the extent of my week. That's what I've been doing. Been just dealing with that and being lonely and stuff. So, there's that. Well, we all have our things. We all have our vices. I spend most of my time cooking or eating, or now before I was really having a tough time trying to my job is in television, so I'm just watching a lot of television all day, and then I get home, and then it's so stupid because I want to turn my brain off, and I go, I guess I'll just turn on the TV, and then it's also so I know I complain about where I live a lot, but it is also so loud in around that I just can't read. I can read, but it'd have to be like early in the morning, or just early in the morning. Truly, it has to be early in the morning, like right after I work out. So that's not gonna happen. And speaking of working out, I've had to so I live in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia proper, and the governor just opened. He says on Friday or Monday, whenever no, I think it's this weekend. Which is Friday, which is today, the day you're listening to this. He said the gyms and the spas and the barbershops and all those and movie theaters can open back up. AMC and don't quote me on this. The alliance, the movie theater alliance, They said, let me look that up. Let me look up the name because I don't think that's correct. The name of okay. Well, apparently this is not showing up. There's a lot of theaters called Alliance Theater. Anyway, there's some type of alliance, and the movie theaters like AMC, United Artists, all those, it's an alliance that's already been existing, but what they said, but since Governor Brian Kemp, who's a turd bag, said that he fixed elections, and he just didn't allow black people to vote. Stacey Abrams is my governor. What he said was that movie theaters can open back up, but what they said, this theater alliance, like particularly AMC, they were like, no, just because you say it can open back up doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to open up our own chains. So what I'm thinking is that the more independent theaters are going to open back up. So that means like the art cinemas, the Landmark Cinema down the street from me, the other cinemas that play specialty movies, but also they play Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or they'll have 3 screens dedicated to the superhero movie that comes out. So and then also only, instead of 50 people in a theater, it's 25 people, and they have to be socially distanced. And then restaurants can open back up. But then no one wants to do this because everybody is A, afraid to go out, and B, there's no downward. The only reason that this is supposed to happen is if you have a downward trend, and there was no downward trend in the cases of coronavirus / COVID-19. So this is just a governor using his power, saying we need some money flow in the economy. Let's just open up with some parameters, which doesn't make sense. I'm not the smartest person in the world to talk about this stuff. I'm just a guy who renewed his subscription to the Wall Street Journal. I did. It was $1 for 2 months, so I just said, let me hop on that. So I've just been reading a crap ton of Wall Street Journal alongside my WAPO, New York Times, and New Yorker, and Atlantic. Although Atlantic is charging now, and Vox is. They're asking for money too. I know I talked about that last week. I'm checking all the clocks around me. I just tapped my iPad, looked at my laptop, and looked at my phone. Oh, so anyway, so the gyms are opening back up, which is insane. If I'm afraid to go, then no one should go. Like I went to March 18th is when we went into official lockdown. March 17th, I was still at the gym, and there was maybe 5 other people there with me. If I'm afraid to go now, no one should go. And I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not even afraid of dying. But I've been doing Peloton Fitness. They gave us 90 days, and then Center, which is going to be up in May 7th for me. They gave us 90 days, and Nike Premium is free for the time being. So I've been doing all that stuff. I've been doing a mixture of all that stuff, and it's all body weight, obviously. I do have 2 10-pound weights that I was going to give to Goodwill, and now I'm just keeping them. And then I have that $70 splurge I spent on at Dick's Sporting Goods with that TRX slam ball, which I can't even slam in here, and my yoga ball, my second yoga ball. The other one's at the office, but this one's weighted. So I have all that stuff. And so what I do is my living room, thank goodness, is perks of living on the first floor. I can move my couch out of the way, and I can jump around. I have my jump rope that I've had for years, and I jump with that doing boxing stuff. I can shadow box and stuff like that. I can do, like, there's enough room for me to bear crawl. There's enough room for me to sidestep and to lateral crawl and do a bunch of stuff that no one would normally have if they lived on upper floors, didn't have hard tile floor or hardwood flooring, which is weird because I have hardwood flooring in the office and in my bedroom, but tile flooring everywhere else. And there's a stark contrast. And this is not good hardwood. It's hardwood I can hear myself walk on, and if I spilled some water on it, which I've done before, I know it will warp. But that's where we are. Let's hop into this first story. So that's what I've been doing. And I think my knees are hurting so bad because of this, me hopping around and stuff. I keep looking at the monitor, and I'm not centered on the camera. But who really cares? Who really cares? Okay, this first story comes from CNBC. Facebook is going to launch its own live gaming site. This is, I guess, it's a smart move for them with one, everybody being at home. I don't know when this is going to launch, but then two, they have the biggest initial users and viewers that could possibly happen. I know they just canceled Facebook. Just canceled the Facebook Watch show with Elizabeth Olsen. Let's see, Elizabeth Olsen Facebook, and that show is, oh no, it just looks like I looked up Elizabeth Olsen. It's called Sorry for Your Loss. It was Emmy nominated, and the show's canceled. Yeah, they canceled it in November. I guess because it's a popular show. I don't want to say popular, but it was a show that it was critically acclaimed. It was on Facebook, but and there's no B there. But now Facebook is going to launch their own gaming. This is written by Ryan Brown with an E. So, Facebook is, I'm just going to clear my throat right on mic. Facebook is making a big push into gaming at a time when the space is seeing a huge boom in demand thanks to coronavirus lockdowns. Okay, so when they jump into this, they're going to have to deal with three people. Google's with YouTube, essentially. YouTube Gaming, Twitch, and Mixer. Twitch is the number one, obviously. Mixer is the number three because it's Mixer. You can only watch it on your Xbox or your PC. And just because they have, and Twitch and YouTube and Mixer, they have all been trying to get these ever since Ninja was signed on to Mixer for an untold sum of money. They have been trying, everyone else has been trying to land their big streamers. So I believe Drake is on Caffeine, as is Offset and a few other people. So you can only watch Drake and Offset and then like celebrities play on Caffeine. They can't play anywhere else. And then Twitch is, the mainstay of it all. And YouTube Gaming is, I don't understand how that should be popular, but it's not. They have the infrastructure to be the most popular, but people just don't want to stream over there for one reason or another. It originally came from the New York Times, but I found it on CNBC. I found it on CNBC, and I said, I'll read off CNBC. I think there's another story that I found on CNBC too. Yeah, the next story after this. It doesn't matter. The app has already been available for testing in Southeast Asia and Latin America for the past 18 months. It offers an experience to the gaming lab on Facebook's website, which lets users broadcast themselves or watch a streamer playing games instead. Facebook Gaming also features a function called Go Live, which lets users live stream mobile games directly from their smartphone to Facebook. That's pretty, okay. This eliminates the need for dedicated third-party software and hardware, which people usually require to broadcast themselves playing games on platforms like Twitch. There's no ad option, and let's see. But you can earn money with quote-unquote stars, and the people watching can give you one-time payments, and then eventually monetization will come at some point. So Facebook has the biggest user base because they have, how many people? But then YouTube has on a daily basis millions of hours of viewing time. So people prefer to watch non-live stuff on YouTube, but live stuff on Twitch. Mixer's not even in the category. I don't know. This is a good move for Facebook, which a company that does not usually make a lot of moves, a lot of good moves. But for them to jump into gaming and to not have a complete grasp of what even television is, because they have all the other shows on Facebook Watch. They have the Real Bros of Simi Valley, who I just interviewed one of the creators, Christian A. Pierce, and then they canceled this show, but they had Nicole Byers' show, which they acquired from MTV, and it's called loosely Exactly Nicole, and you can watch both seasons on there, but either they have like a really good show like Sorry for Your Loss, or they have all these internet-based things, with the exception of loosely Exactly Nicole, all these internet-based things that no one seems to care about. Because no one wants, and obviously they can have an app on Roku. They can have the Facebook Watch app, but nobody wants to do that. And I'd be surprised if Apple TV Plus is doing well with views. Obviously, they have the subscribers. They have You know, you buy a new Apple product, you get 1 year. So I'd be surprised if any of this would really work out in the long run. But we'll see. I think Facebook will stick with something longer than Google sticks with something. And trust me, Google will drop anything at the drop of a hat. Okay. All right. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we got 3 more things to look at. And we're back to the show. I wasn't even ready for that one. Still trying. Hold on. There's a buzzing coming from. Oh God. Oh no. I should just left it. Oh God. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can, and it's horribly annoying. Oh no, it really is bad. Give me a second. Okay. Welcome back to the show. Leave it all in. Who cares? Let's hop on to the second half of the program. Usually now's the time when I tell a story. I don't have any stories. We're in the midst of a coronavirus pandemic. Just making sure that thing was still going. I have no stories for you. I got nothing. Like I said, I've been cooking. I've gone through all my expensive meats, my beef steaks and my lambs, my shoulders, and pork butts. I didn't buy any pork butt. Pork butt is actually pork shoulder. Let's see what else. I don't have anything new that to tell you. I got nothing. I've just been watching TV and playing video games. Oh, you know what? I watched Black AF on what's it called? Netflix. Kenya Barris's show with him and Rashida Jones. I don't like it. I was looking forward to this show. I'm not going to mince words here. I don't like it at all. It just seems kind of arrogant and unfunny, and I just did not enjoy my time with it. And it doesn't know. I feel like I was talking to somebody last night about this, and I feel as if the show doesn't know what it wants to be, and there's like a character change, specifically in like Rashida Jones's character who plays his wife. The show is about Kenya Barris, who is a creator of Blackish, Mixedish, Grownish, and he's a mega producer who's done a lot of great work, which doesn't explain this. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened here in Grownish. I got a problem with Grownish. Good cast though. And so my problem is it doesn't know what it wants to be. And specifically, if you look at Kenya Barris's wife, played by Rashida Jones, she goes through a kind of a character change in the middle of the pilot. So for like the first episodes of the show are 38 minutes long, which is 16 minutes too long for this show. And it's shot like in mockumentary style. But they keep addressing it. They keep addressing it to mockumentary. They keep addressing the crew. They keep seeing the behind the scenes of the crew. And it's just all over the place. Anyway, Rashida Jones's character, first 12 minutes, she's kind of the archetypal. I'm the wife, you're the husband, and I look down on what you do because you say stupid things. You know, she's Lois Griffin to Peter Griffin. She's Marge Simpson to Homer Simpson. I'm gonna keep going. She's Linda Burger to Bob's Burger. What is Bob's Burger's last name? Bob's Burger. What are their last names? I don't know. Let's look it up. We can find this out together. Belcher. I've watched that show since episode 1, so it's been on for 10 years now, and I don't know their last names. Oh boy. I just found out that Maggie Simpson is the name of the baby on The Simpsons. Okay, so. All right. Anyway. I feel so dumb. But she is that. She is that to him. And it just doesn't make sense to me. So anyway, and then the second half, she is more cartoonish like he is. Because in the show, Kenya plays himself, and he's every other sentence is I effing hate white people, and he thinks that's funny for some reason, and then he has outbursts at his daughter, or he has outbursts like talking about like how he's guilty being rich, but he loves being rich and buying all this stuff. He's He's playing Andre Johnson from Blackish, Anthony Anderson's character, who is Kenya Barris. He's playing that character, but as if that character were the worst parts of that character, and that's how Black AF feels. Also, it has a hashtag in the title, and it says AF, and that's not going to age well. Blackish will age well. Black AF will not. Not everybody wants to make a show like that, but still. Same guy, so you should want to make a show like that. I will continue. I'll give it 2 more episodes. There's only 8 to 10, I believe, in the season, so I'll give it 2 more episodes. Mostly because I like Rashida Jones, and mostly because in this first episode he had Steve Levitan, who's another great producer and writer. Gil Ozeri is playing his assistant, and maybe there'll be cameos. I don't read reviews, and I don't plan on reading reviews of this show or any show. I saw a headline of a review that said that Black AF is if Curb Your Enthusiasm and Not Modern Family. Anyway, Curb Your Enthusiasm and some other show, if they were put together and it wasn't as good, something along those lines, and that makes so much sense. Like it does have the Curb feel, and I guess that's what they're aiming for, but it just missed on so many levels. Gosh. And just because you can have long episodes on Netflix doesn't mean you should. There's a show called The Last, and this is just an example. The Last Kids on Earth is a cartoon show, or even Carmen Sandiego. And both of those, another cartoon show. Let me think. What else is I was going to say The Dragon Prince is another cartoon show. What is a show that is a live action show that has short episodes? Anyway, you can do, just because you can have 40-minute episodes doesn't mean you should. Doesn't mean that the show is going to be made better for it. And quite frankly, it might be a deterrent. If I see a 30-minute episode or a 35-minute episode, I want to step behind. Okay, here's a show that used the time wisely. Santa Clarita Diet. Love that show. Got canceled. Love that show. And that show episodes were 30 minutes at most, 31 minutes, so yeah, maybe we just temper it down a little bit. All right, let's move on. I was fishing for a story, and I'm now 6 minutes into the second part of this episode. This comes from CNBC again, written by Annie Palmer. Amazon uses data from third-party sellers to develop its own products, WSJ investigation finds. So, obviously, Amazon makes its own products, and you should know that. If you want a blender if you want a Blendtec blender, a Cuisinart blender, a Ninja blender, you type in blender in the search suggestions, it'll say it'll have your Cuisinart blenders, but then it'll also have Amazon blender, Amazon Basics blender, or Amazon Basics tumbler, Amazon Basics digital camera. It'll have all these Amazon Basics stuff. And so Amazon is in the business of selling other people's crap, but then also making its own crap. It's kind of like it's every other conglomerate you've seen, every other corporate company that sells something out there. Publix, Trader Joe's, Trader Joe's obviously sells some stuff. Publix, Whole Foods, Kroger, Walmart, Target, they all have their own brands, and it's all going to be the same thing, more or less, but one of them is going to be of a higher quality because the other one, you don't know. Oh boy, my voice just got better. Have I not been speaking at the right part of my so Amazon is using the data that it finds when people are searching for tumbler, if they're searching for Hydro Flask, which I don't think they sell anything on there, but they're searching for a Hydro Flask tumbler because I'm looking at mine right now. They have a 40-ounce Hydro Flask tumbler. Amazing. It's the best. But it is seafoam green or blue. It's a color that I don't feel comfortable with. I'm kidding. But if they're searching for a Hydro Flask tumbler and Amazon doesn't have a tumbler yet, and enough people search for that, then eventually they're going to want to start manufacturing their own tumblers. And that's basically the gist of this entire investigation. You should read it. The CNBC will give you the great highlights, such as Among the findings were that some Amazon executives had privileged access to data on individual third-party sellers, which was then used to develop the company's own products, despite it being in violation of company policy. The findings directly contradict Amazon's previous messaging around how it uses third-party seller data. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Jesus. So, yeah, they're illegally, some of the execs, or let's just say the companies, illegally using data found, and that should not be happening. I read another piece on the New York Times today about how Jeff Bezos hopped in and took leadership of Amazon during the pandemic. He didn't. It wasn't a good start. You should check it out. It's I'm not even gonna link to it. Check it out though. Find it on the New York Times. Gronk apparently wrote something to the Patriots because he's going to the Tampa Bay Bucks to join Tom Brady for 1 year at least. Okay. I want to skip over that. Anyway, Bezos, essentially the thing was Bezos hopped in but he's not really taking full leadership. Even though he's like taking leadership, he's not taking the full leadership. He's not doing what he should be doing, what other companies are doing. He's making people work. He's not keeping everybody in on the loop of stuff. So yeah, that's what that is. This next one comes from the Wall Street Journal. Written by Joshua Robinson, Ben Cohen, and Andrew Beaton. It's called The Big Winners of Sports Without Fans, the refs. It's about how soccer people... Oh, I have to sign in. Jesus. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. It's about how soccer people... it's about how refs, and I believe Italy, fans were so riled up during a couple of games that they were throwing like gas and fire and like Molotov cocktails and bricks and stuff like that, and the refs were getting hurt, and so they did away with the fans, and so they're in a big stadium with just the two teams and the refs, and the cameramen obviously, so that's where we're going right now with football and baseball and basketball and hockey and soccer here in America and around the world, and tennis, and golf's outside. And so that's where we're going with sports around the world right now because of the pandemic. So the refs won't have to. And then also they're talking about bias. I'm doing this all from verbatim. They're talking about bias and how bias can really affect how refs referee a game. They're talking, and the hope is that less fouls will be called in soccer and basketball and all that stuff and football and that it can truly just be about the game. It's a good piece. I'm just rating everything I read. Definitely check it out. It's a study done by Michael Prix, who wrote the paper with Per Peterson Libom, at the University of Stockholm College. This must be the Wall Street Journal across the pond. So there's not going to be audiences, and maybe refs can be just a little bit better at their jobs. And they won't be chastised for it, and they won't be bullied into making calls that they don't want to make. And because the audience is, just chanting BS, BS, and all stuff. So there you go. I did a pretty good job of summarizing that one. You should definitely read it, and I basically covered everything. That's on the Wall Street Journal. If you don't have a, take advantage. $1 for 2 months. Okay. Now, this last one came in last week. Last Friday night, I was sitting at home watching a movie, and I read this, or I skimmed over it. No, I read it. I read it because it was very understandable. This comes from Variety, written by Matt Donnelly. Ellen crew furious over poor communication regarding pay non-union workers during non-union workers during coronavirus shutdown. So if you work for the entertainment industry, you want to join a union. I've talked about unions. Have I? I don't know. A union would be IATSE, International Alliance Studio Technician stuff. I'm not going to look it up. It's too much work. But apparently when so obviously when everything shut down, and then slowly but surely talk shows started coming back, news shows started coming back, late night shows started coming back, but then daytime talk shows, very popular, like Ellen, started coming back. Wendy Williams is back. You should not look at that crap. Just referencing things. So Ellen came back, and only the higher level producers know anything about it. If you look at Jimmy Kimmel Live, I believe Conan, and as far as I know, those two are the only ones paying everybody. I believe Kimmel paid everybody from his pocket like the first 2 weeks that they were shut down, and then that's when he came back. And then Conan, I can only assume that Warner is like that he has some type of thing in his some type of clause that says pay everybody or I walk. I'm kidding. But Kimmel and Conan, everybody's getting paid because everybody's getting used. The core staged crew of the Ellen DeGeneres Show has more than 30 employees. They have received no written communication about the status of their working hours, pay, or inquiries about their mental or physical health from producers for over a month, said two sources, both of whom spoke on the condition of anonymity. Higher-ups in production would occasionally answer phone calls but reveal little, added one of the sources. The crew is further incensed by the show's recent hire of an outside non-union tech company to help DeGeneres tape remotely from her home in California. So Ellen's show is, I believe they tape, what this article said, what this piece said, they tape in 2 days, they taped 5 episodes or something so they could air it throughout the week. So normally they tape 4 days a week. Studio episodes were last shot the week of March 9th. The crew was last paid in full for the week of March 16th when the Warner Brothers lot was shut down as a precaution to prevent. The following week of March 23rd was already a planned spring break hiatus. But then they came back, and a spokesperson said pay was reduced to 8 hours from 10 hours per workday for the week of the 30th. The camera just shut off, which makes editing this super easy. Oh, yeah, it is. And then as of April 10th, crew was told to expect a reduced compensation of 2 8-hour work days per week in the following hours. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah. And then one local IATSE rep. Yeah. Okay. So they're not getting paid their full wages. And they weren't even asked to work. Another company is handling that. So now it's essentially just Ellen shooting in her home, and the 5 producers going, "Hey, this would be fun. This would be funny." This isn't the first time I've heard stuff about Ellen, and I'm sure everybody has their thoughts on her. I've never worked with her. I probably never will. I don't know her personally, and I don't want to talk smack about her. But if this is true, which I can only believe it to be, this really blows. And, if you are right now the highest rated talk show, period, then perhaps, and I don't know if she is, but then perhaps it would be in your best interest to, even if you don't have the best working relationship with your crew, and it's only 30 people, to have them paid living wages. So basically every late night show is back, and I know I'm comparing her to late night, but it's kind of unfair, but every late night show is back. Sam B is using her monologue writers, and I can only assume everybody is monologue writers, her writing staff. And producers, so I can only assume everybody's getting paid over there. Which is another Warner Media. I've applied to so many jobs there. It's crazy that I don't know the name. Jimmy Kimmel stagehands were paid from Kimmel's own pocket, like I just said. Desus and Mero over at Showtime, they had all full paying rates, and even still they have their full paying rates because the show is now going on, even if it is remotely. I don't know. This needs to be rectified. These I mean, if the late night people can get paid, if the morning talk show people, if CBS This Morning and Today's Show and Good Morning America, if they can get paid, surely you can go, okay, let me get my grips, let me get my the lighting people, let me who with the names I forgot, let me get everybody paid. Because right now it's asinine how you can't, or rather you're refusing now to not put money down. And then you got that, what is it here? You got like $50 million per deal from your Telepictures deal, and then you got the Netflix deal, and you re-upped your contract. Man, come on, Ellen, you're better than this. All right. Listen, if you like what you heard here, head on over to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where you'll see interviews. I just spoke to interviews with the favorite comedians or comedy drifting people. I just spoke to Rachel Lee Goldenberg. She's a director of the new movie Valley Girl coming out, which is probably the next biggest release. If you haven't seen ads for Valley Girl, I'm very surprised because I've seen ads all over the internet for it. It stars Jessica Roth, Christina Applegate, and oh god, this is embarrassing. Jessica Roth, Christina Applegate. Anyway, it's a remake of the 1976 or 73 film starring Nicolas Cage. It's a musical. It's very charming. Truly, I would not be talking about it now. I would just say I'm talking to Rachel Lee Goldenberg. But it looks so pretty. And at least the trailer got me hyped. So definitely check that out. That'll be out. The movie Valley Girl, the remake, will be out on Mother's Day, which is May 10th. So maybe I'll have the article out May 8th. Or the movie comes out May 8th, excuse me. And maybe I'll have the article out then or before then. The interview. It's just an interview piece. So, cpluscomedy.com. Until then, you can read Larry the Cable Guy, Christian A. Pierce, Jimmy Pardo, Maria Bamford. I've done Matt Besser. They just closed down UCB in New York. I should have talked about that. Yeah. UCB in New York is closed down. The Amy Poehler, Matt Besser, Matt Walsh, and Ian, whose name I forgot. Last name I forgot. It's embarrassing. They shut down UCB in New York because they just couldn't. They just moved and they couldn't afford the lease, like the renting a space. You know, just especially during a time when everything is shut down. So they just said let's close up shop, and basically the only things left. The only way to get UCB is to be in New York, and they'll have pop-up shows, pop-up training stuff, but they'll just be at places where they can more control, you know, or live in LA, and they have the two buildings on Sunset and the other one. They have one on Sunset, but I know they have two UCB places in Sunset, and those places they own, like they lease those places. So that's what happened. There we go. I covered that story. If you want to see a video version of this show, I don't know why you would, head to youtube.com/cpluscomedy. You can see me sitting on the couch on the futon. And yeah. There you can also watch the show. What is it called? What is it called? News Time. It's called News Time. It's the premier news show. It's an entertainment news show, written and starring by me. It's a great show. I love it so much. The times I love it, I love it. The times I hate it, I hate it. It's like The Daily Show, except way less funny. I just take one story, entertainment news world, and I dissect it, put some jokes in. Boom. This week is about how the coronavirus affected Broadway. I'm still continuing on the coronavirus kick with this because that's all that's in the news right now. And so eventually I'll run out of stuff. I have ideas until June, so we'll see what happens. It's about how Broadway is affected by coronavirus and what are the next steps for it to come back. They're planning on coming back in the summer at some point. the cold open to that. And I love if just follow Instagram, go on the Twitter, watch the show on youtube.com/peoplescomedy. The cold opens are the best part. The cold open to that is a musical it's a Hamilton medley. I edited and cut it myself, and I made new lyrics for it, and it is so good, and I love it. It's just like the We Are the World one, which is We Are News Time, and this one's called Not Thrown Away News Time. Or My News Time, because it's called My Shot. Anyway, it's good. It's so funny. Check it out. youtube.com/peoplescomedy. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram @peoplescomedy. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram @ChapBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening. You're the best. Or watching. Goodbye. Oh, hold on. I got to bring this up. I say goodbye, and I didn't even know how to close out the show. Okay, bye.